Hello, I'm Safi. Welcome to my channel and welcome to a new reading vlog. Oh my god, I am so excited about this one because I have been anticipating the Goodreads Choice Awards for probably way too long. I don't think normal people anticipate something like the Goodreads Choice Awards for months. I started writing lists of books that I thought would be nominees already back in September, and I started ordering them for this vlog already back in September and October. I will put a picture, maybe here, of the books that I was thinking would be on the Goodreads Choice Awards nominees for horror, of course. I wouldn't know about the others, but here are the books that I was guessing would be in the Goodreads Choice Awards. Yeah, that's the books that I ordered. Not all of them, but I do have some of them. We're gonna go downstairs now and we're gonna go back to yesterday me because it's the day after, it's Wednesday, and she's gonna react to the lists. It's Tuesday, 12th of November, and we all know what that means. That means that the Goodreads Choice Awards are finally live. And I can't wait to look. So I thought I would just film my reaction. I haven't opened them yet. Sorry for my makeup and my face. I literally just woke up. And I did everything in a hurry because I just wanted to get down here and record this reaction. So I have my tea actually ready. I logged in real quick. Let's just look. Oh my god, I am so excited about this. Okay, well, I only really care about horror, of course. I mean, what else, right? But why don't we just like start with fiction, because I want to look at all of them eventually. Okay, I haven't read any of these. I think my friend Fabiana has read this one, but said that it wasn't great. I have not read any of these. Oh yeah, of course Intermezzo would be there. I might read that eventually. I have read Sally Rooney's other books, so why not? This is really weird. I have not read any of the books in the fiction category. I usually have read a couple, but not this year, I guess. I haven't read that much general fiction. I probably haven't read anything in historical fiction either. The Seventh Veil of Salome I would like to read, but I do not even recognize most of these. I have not read any of them. Sea Mystery Thriller. I do recognize some of these, but I haven't read any of these yet. Let's see if I have read any of them. Oh yeah. I've read these two, and I'm not going to vote because I hated both of them. So, yep, not for me. I'm not going to vote in that category either. Okay, reader's favorite romance. I have this on my TBR, The Pairing by Casey McQuiston, and I haven't read it yet. Oh yeah, I'm going to vote for Bride then, maybe, because I read this earlier this year and I really loved it. I have this, The Cinnamon Bookstore, on my TBR, but I haven't read it. I've read Funny Story by Emily Henry, but I didn't love it. I have to say, it wasn't my favorite. I didn't hate it, but it was fine. Okay, what's the next category? Oh yeah, romantasy. Okay, let's look at the romantasy books. I would like to read A Dark and Drowning Tide, though. Okay, no, I haven't read any of these. Fantasy next? Okay. Yeah, because like An Academy for Liars was one of my possibilities for horror, but I guess it went into fantasy instead. Okay, that's nice. But yeah, oh, I'm going to vote for this. I don't even need to see the rest. I'm going to vote for Emily Wilde's Map of the Otherlands. I've read that back in January and I loved it. I loved it so much. One of the best books I've read this year. I haven't read The Familiar yet, but I would really, really like to. Well, I've read A Sorcerer's Comes to Call, but I'm still gonna vote for Emily Wilde because I loved the Emily Wilde books, and this one was even better than the first one, I think. Let's see, sci-fi. I probably haven't read any of these. Nope. Oh, I would love to read In Ascension. I have it actually on my shelf, on my TBR. Oh, actually, yeah, I've read Moon of the Turning Leaves. Okay, well, yeah, then I'm gonna vote for that. Because why not? Oh, the next category is horror. I am not ready. I am not ready to see this. Oh my god, I am so excited. Why don't we just like do all of the others first? We do all of the others first and then we look at horror. Okay, debut novel. Once again, read any of these apart from We Used to Live Here. The Eyes Are the Best Part. See if there's anything else. No, then I'm gonna vote for this. Audiobook? What? What? This is new, right? Like this has never been here before. The category of audiobook. Why not? Like, you know what? Why not? I haven't listened to any of these though, so I'm not gonna vote. But young adult fantasy, I probably have not read any of these. Nope. Oh, yeah, actually the Invocations, and I loved it. Oh, and also the Prisoner's Throne. Okay, I'm gonna vote for the Invocations because I really, really like that one. So, yeah. I was wondering if this would be in young adult or horror. Apparently it's in young adult. Maybe it's also in horror, but I think if it's a young adult book, it probably will only be in the young adult category. I don't know. Okay, now I'm pretty positive I have not read any of these. No, I have not. Though I would obviously love to read the Heartstopper series. And this one too looks interesting. But yeah, no, not my category, I have to say. Nonfiction. I have not read much nonfiction this year, so I probably haven't read any of these. Yeah, no, as I thought. Memoir, yeah, no. I'm pretty sure I have not. Nope, I have not read any memoirs. Oh, history and biography? Nah, man. I no. Okay, but that was all. So now we get to see the horror. Are we ready for this? Are we ready? Let's do it. Let's go. Okay. Okay. I'm not surprised already. Like, these that I see here were all in my predictions. All of these that I see right now. Okay, so I'm going to have to find incidents around the house somehow. I have the Bugwife upstairs, so that's good. I have You Like It Darker. I have My Darling Dreadful Thing. I got all of these in prediction that they would be here. I've read Bury Your Gaze. I loved it. And this one, I was hoping this wouldn't be there. I have to be honest. I've read the synopsis for it. I guess maybe I'll have to read it. Maybe I will see. I don't know if I'll manage to read all of the ones that I haven't read yet, but could be that I just end up doing it anyways. Okay, yeah. Oh, no, don't go too far. Yeah, these were also all in my predictions. Wow, I'm so good at this. I should do it every year. Indian Burial Ground, I wanted to read anyways. Oh, yeah. Well, if this one's here, I'm probably going to have to vote for it because it's Mariana. It's Mariana Enriquez. I'm going to kind of probably have to vote for it. I will feel bad if I don't. Although I loved The Sunny Place for Shady People and Bury Your Gaze pretty much equally, I have to say, in different ways. But yeah, those were two great books. I've also read it. I Was a Teenage Slasher, What Feasts at Night, and yeah, of these, that's it. So yeah, I didn't love I Was a Teenage Slasher. I really liked What Feasts at Night. So yeah, let's move on. Let's see what's next. Yep. Oh, wow. They really did that, huh? They really put the third book in a trilogy. Yeah. Well, I've read the first one of the trilogy and I didn't love it, so I really don't want to continue these books. So I don't think I'm going to. Yeah, I was a bit unsure if this would be there because it has a lot less shelvings than a lot of other horror books that came out recently. And it's the third in a series, and there's already another Stephen Graham Jones in here. But apparently they did it. They did it anyways. So yeah, okay. But these three were in my predictions, and I've read The Eyes Are the Best Part and Diavola. So those are checked. I haven't read the Book of Witching, but I'm pretty sure I've ordered it. It just hasn't arrived yet. Okay, let's move on. Oh, all right. Murder Road's in here? Okay, sure. Yeah, this one I had not predicted. Okay, now I see two that weren't in my predictions. All right, okay, so I wasn't 100% correct. But I was very close. These are the first two that we see until now that were not in my predictions. Oh, and The Angel of Indian Lake, of course, because I did not. I had put it there initially and then I removed it because I was like, maybe not. But apparently, yes. So, yeah, well, these look interesting. So, yeah, why not? I might be interested in reading them. Oh, and that's it. Okay, so that's everything. So I had gotten 17 out of 20 correct in my predictions. That's crazy. I am very satisfied with this. I'm just, okay. So let's see how many I've read very quickly and what I'm going to be voting for. And then we'll try to make a TBR out of this. I am very excited, but I won't be able to start reading anything for this vlog until probably the weekend. So in a few days, because I'm still finishing my previous vlog. So far I've read 7 of the nominees for horror, which means that I would have to read like 13 books. I don't think I'm going to be able to read 13 books in one vlog. Also because I don't own several of these. I would already consider this a success if I made it to 10. Because, yeah, even that's looking difficult. Even that's looking rough. But, yeah, I want to read Incidents Around the House for sure. I want to read The Bug Wife. You Like It Darker. I want to read My Darling Dreadful Thing. I want to read So Thirsty, Indian Burial Ground, Sleep Tight, The Book of Witching, This Cursed House, and Blood Like Mine. Okay. I need to check if these are available here in Norway in my bookstore or the bookstore I work at. And yeah, just figure out what I'm gonna read for this. I'm very excited and also like kind of very stressed because it's a lot of books. I was hoping I would have read more, but okay. Yeah, no, I mean, sure. Now I'm going to show you a bit of what I'm planning on reading. And we're gonna choose the TBR for this vlog. It's going to be a long one because I'm planning on reading way more books than I usually do, but hopefully I manage. You know, it's probably going to have to go on for a bit longer than a week, maybe even 2 weeks, but I'll do it. I want to do it. So the first book that I want to read is Sleep Tight by J.H. Markert, because I have the audiobook for this from the library. And yeah, so that's the only one for which I have a little bit of a time press for now, because I'm waiting for the audiobook for a few of the other ones to come through from the library. So yeah, I'll just have to wait a bit longer for those. But if I start with this one, it should work out. I think this has serial killers in it or something. I don't know. But oh wow. The font is so small. Why are there so many lines in any single page? Oh my god. Okay, I am a little bit stressed now, but yeah, this should probably be the first book I start. All right, so it's a little bit later and I've started reading Sleep Tight. I'm here to just share some of my first impressions about it. I'm at page 55, so yeah, I haven't read very much, but I just wanted to say that so far I'm intrigued. It seems to be about a serial killer. Like, there's this detective. I mean, it's reminding me a lot of The Outsider by Stephen King, because this one is also about some kind of killings, some serial killers, and it involves children. So the main character is this woman who is a detective, and the book opens with this one serial killer getting executed. And apparently he killed a bunch of children and some adults. And all of the people that he killed, apart from the children, I guess, were like outcasts and addicts and homeless people. And apparently he thought he was like doing a favor to the world or something, getting rid of them or whatever. So yeah, it opens with this man who apparently also pretended to be a priest getting executed. And right as he gets executed, some weird things start happening. Like, apparently he was called Father Silence because after he was caught by the police, he never uttered a single word again until his day of execution, where right before he gets fried, essentially, he says something. It doesn't say what he says because he whispers something that apparently makes everyone in the room go pale, but it obviously doesn't say what he says. I'm assuming we'll find out later, hopefully, because I would really like to know. And then, as I said, the main character that we're following is this woman who's a detective. And the day after the execution, I think it is, she finds out that someone killed her parents, murdered her parents brutally. And it might be connected to the serial killer that just died, because apparently her father was the detective who caught him and put him in prison. So yeah, and she's kind of following in her father's steps right now because, as I said, she's a detective too. And yeah, she's been always interested in this serial killer case. She finds out that her daughter has been kidnapped. Like, she was supposed to be in school, but apparently she never made it to school. And it's her daughter. I don't remember how old she is, but she's a child. I really don't remember, but like either 10 or less even. So yeah, she dropped her off in front of the school, but apparently she never made it inside the building. And the person that killed her parents is the same person that kidnapped her daughter. So yeah, now they are looking for this person. And yeah, I am intrigued, although there's just a few details that I don't know how to feel about. Like, they are doing some profiling of this guy, and they are sketching his face because there's an eyewitness. And I don't know, it felt a little bit convenient so far, but we will see. I have heard a bit mixed reviews about this book, so I don't know. I guess I'll find out as I go on. Guys, I'm now almost halfway through Sleep Tight. I didn't mean to update so many times. This vlog is already going to be long enough without me updating every 50 pages, but I just had to because, like, as I said, I was intrigued in the beginning. And then things just started to take a weird turn. Like, what? I am not sure I'm enjoying this anymore. Like, the first 50 pages got me, like, gripped. I wanted to know who the killer was and who kidnapped the children and what has been done to them and what happened. But I'm not sure I like some of the answers that we've gotten, and I'm just, I don't know, there have been a few things in this book that have really rubbed me the wrong way. Like, I don't want to go too much in detail because I don't want to give any spoilers in this vlog. But nor do I want to get too personal, but there have been a few things concerning religion, specifically Catholicism. And I'm not religious. I haven't been for a very long time. But my family is. And I grew up in a Catholic country. I don't want to get too deep into the matter, but let's just say that I've tried to get as far away from it as possible, the whole religious thing. And I don't like it in books either. I don't have a good relationship with it. There have been a few things, like there was this conversation, I guess, if you don't want to hear anything about this book, just skip to, if I remember, I'll put a time to skip to. But there's been this conversation about birth control and children. And the main character is Catholic, and so is, like, I think it's her best friend. And they were talking about having children, right? The main character here has separated from her husband. It doesn't say that they have divorced. I don't think they have. They've just separated because he cheated on her. She said that they have one child, you know, the one that's been kidnapped. And then she said that she had, like, they tried for more children, even though she didn't want to, because her husband wanted her to make more children. And then they had, like, she had a miscarriage. And then she started taking the pill, like the contraceptive pill, without telling him. And that they tried to have more children. But of course it didn't work because she was secretly taking the pill. And then her friend tells her that she and her husband, like, they have 5 children. And that he wanted more because they are against contraception. And that she secretly had her tubes tied, that he doesn't know yet, probably will never know. And they're together and they're, like, presented as a normal couple. Yeah, so I don't know, that just really rubbed me the wrong way. And also another thing, there is some mental illness representation in here that I'm struggling a bit with. Like, the main character has amnesia. Of course she does. Like, isn't that so in every goddamn thriller? That there's always a character that could have some key information about the crimes that are going on, but just can't remember because they have amnesia. Like, could authors please stop doing that? It's so annoying. Like, everyone does it. It's not a nice trope. It's cheap, and I hate it. So when things started going on regarding her and her amnesia, I was like, oh, please, no. Oh, God, no. And then it got worse. Because there's, like, apparently a character in here with multiple personality disorder or dissociative personality disorder. They haven't mentioned the name of the disorder, but it's obvious. Like, he shifts personality and has multiple personalities and stuff. And I hate that. I can't stand it. I don't know. I don't think it's done very well. I wouldn't know, of course. I'm not an expert. But I just hate when that's used in thrillers. Like, could authors also please stop doing this? I don't like when mental illness is just used as a plot device in thrillers. Oh yeah, I've been calling this thriller because it's not horror. There hasn't been a single horror thing going on so far. It's a thriller, and it shouldn't be in the horror category. I don't know if maybe later on it will become more horror, but so far it's like literally just an investigation. Like a detective novel, pretty much. I am upset. But I will go on. As I said, I'm not even halfway. But I just had to talk because I am upset. I'll see you when I have something else to say. It's literally like 5 minutes later. And there's just been a scene in which a doctor, I assume, or somebody who works in a psychiatric institute of sorts, has just like been talking about the patient to the main character, who I know she is police, but she's technically not allowed to work on this case. And even if she were, I don't think that doctors or psychiatrists or whatever this man is are allowed to just give information about their patients. Like, what? This is making me more and more upset as I go on. Because not even in fiction, not even in films, they usually show doctors just giving information about their patients as if, as if that was just fine, right? It's like, it's illegal. You can't do that. You can't talk about patients to other people, not even if they're police, unless you're allowed by a judge or something. I don't know how it works. All my knowledge on this is from Law and Order, SVU. But what the hell? Like, they are not even working on the fucking case. This doesn't make any sense. And I am upset. Like, please feel free to correct me if I'm wrong. But I am pretty sure that doctors, psychologists, psychiatrists cannot legally talk about anything regarding any of their patients to anyone. Okay, like, there can be maybe some exceptions, like if it's a child, they can probably talk to the parents. But this is not the case. And oh my God, I am feeling so upset about everything that's happening in this book. Now they have mentioned the dissociative identity disorder.
This has started so well. And it's just like going downhill very fast.
It's Wednesday? No, it's Thursday. And I'm about to head to work. But I'm here because yesterday evening I finished Sleep Tight by J.H. Markert. And this was a 1-star. I hated this book. Like, I would have never thought that it would begin like this, okay? I did not plan for this. This was a book that I genuinely thought I would enjoy. I've already talked a bit about some of the things I didn't like about this book yesterday. And as I said, in the first 50 pages, I was actually intrigued. If it had continued with just that basic mystery, I would have probably liked this a lot more. The problem with this book is that it tried to do so many things. It tried to do everything at once. And I mean, there's a lot of problems about this book, I feel, but mainly that it just tried to do way too much. And it just ended up making a mess that wasn't interesting in the least. Okay, so there's like, I don't remember exactly where I left off yesterday, but there are a couple of things that I need to talk about this, like the reasons why I didn't like it. Well, so first of all, amnesia trope. The main character has amnesia about something that happened in her childhood, and of course, she remembers things, like bits and pieces, at the most convenient moments. And like, if she had remembered things from the start, there probably wouldn't even have been a mystery to begin with. So I hate that. It's just so convenient. And then there is a character. I won't go into spoilers here. I will try to not mention any spoilers in this section, but damn, there was a character with dissociative identity disorder, which, can we stop doing that? Can we also stop the amnesia trope? But also, why do authors keep using DID as like a trope to make the book spookier, or to bring the plot forward, or to make it more mysterious or creepy? No, don't do that. Please, just don't. Just do not. Like, I have read at least one book, I won't mention which one because it would be a spoiler, but I have read one book in one of these vlogs that I've made, in which there was another character with DID, and it was actually well done. This one, I feel like this one wasn't. It did not even feel real. It felt stereotypized. It felt like something you would see on TV. It felt like some sensational police show on TV. Also, this was not a horror book. This shouldn't be in the horror category. This is a thriller. There was nothing horror about this. Just some attempts at making it horror, but it was a thriller. This is not a horror book. So, said attempts were that there was this weird cult. Like, what? Like, it didn't even go anywhere. Like, it made no sense. It made absolutely no sense. It was just thrown in there with a bunch of other things. I don't know. It's just, the author probably was like, yeah, how do I make this horror? Let's just throw a weird cult in it to make it spooky. And then, like, this cult was like drawing these satanic symbols. Never a word on what they actually were, what they meant, nothing. Just, they were drawing satanic symbols. What? I don't know, man. It was ridiculous. And not in a fun way. It was just bad. Just straight up bad. Okay. So, yeah. That just didn't make sense. Oh yeah, there was like one paranormal thing going on. I obviously won't say what it was. I might do a very, very brief spoiler section after this, but there was one paranormal element that was never addressed. It just was there. And I think it was there just for the sake of convenience, so that some things could happen. Which, no, man, come on. You can't do that. You can't just have one paranormal element in the whole book, and it's like this convenient thing, of course. Like, no, the more I went on in this book, the angrier I got with it. And I have nothing good to say about this. Also, of course, if you enjoyed this, then I'm happy for you. I just can't bring myself to enjoy thrillers this year, it seems. I can't find one single thriller that I think is good. I don't know what's up with me. I used to like thrillers, I swear, and I'm not usually this negative. But yeah, I hope that there's a lot of people that like this, because, of course, that's kind of the point. It's always, in the end, a matter of personal taste. I will now talk about a couple of spoilers, so if you don't want to hear anything about this book, please just skip to whatever timestamp I will put on the screen. Hopefully I remember to do that, but yeah. What the fuck? What the fuck was that cult? Why were they wearing animal masks? And what the fuck were they trying to sacrifice? For what? Did they think that it would bring the executed serial killer back to life? With no base to it whatsoever? And no history of other, like... that felt like so out of the blue. That just felt like, oh yeah, like, let's just throw that in there just to make some kind of climax for the book, right? Because of course, like, there would be a bunch of cult members drawing satanic symbols and trying to sacrifice some children in order to bring back this deceased serial killer. Excuse me? Like, that made zero sense. And it just felt like thrown in there. Also, it was so confusing. Towards the end especially, there were so many characters with so many different names and so many different personalities that I just couldn't even fucking follow. Like, it just got so confusing. And like, of course, the lady that was like I had foreseen that, actually. I thought, yeah, of course, like, if she's psychic and she's psychic, so she knows these things without a base for it, then it's two options. Either she is like actually psychic and the author just threw that in there, or she is the killer, because only the killer would know these things, right? She was the killer. Or one of them, I guess, since they were like a whole cult. And I was like, yeah, wow, how original and surprising. Like, what was the paranormal element with the two men? Like, it was Benjamin and Noah, or one of Noah's personalities, like, sharing a mind? That was never addressed. They just knew each other's thoughts. They were telepathic. That's it. No explanation. They just were. Yeah, just that. So, yeah, and also, like, the ending was actual bullshit. The ending was just, oh my god, it was just like so sensationalistic. Is that a word? It was just made to bring you to feel things. It felt nothing but just upset and anger about this book. So yeah, I think that will be all for the spoilers. So yeah, this book was one of the worst books I've read this year. So we're off to a good start for this vlog. It can't go any worse. It literally cannot go any worse. I hope. So at least there's that, right? I will stop rambling about this book because this vlog is already going to be long enough and I've given this enough air already, and I'm going to be selling this copy because I don't want it on my shelves. Let's just move on to whatever I want to read next. I should go maybe for My Darling Dreadful Thing, because I've heard very good things about this and I really need a good book right now. So I think this is going to be my next pick. Hello, it's currently Friday and I'm about to head to work as usual. But first, I really wanted to update because I have just, like, literally 10 minutes ago, I finished My Darling Dreadful Thing by Johanna van Veen. I think that's how it's supposed to be pronounced. But yeah, I really love this. I still haven't quite decided on my rating, but it's a very high 4, maybe even a 5. I don't know. Like, in some points, it certainly did feel like a 5, but I don't know. It might be like almost 5. It might be more like a 4.75. I don't know. As I said, I have to let this sink in a little bit before I decide on anything. But I loved this book. This was so well written, and it's like a debut apparently. I had never heard of this author before, but now I'm going to read anything else that she publishes. So yeah, My Darling Dreadful Thing is a gothic, sapphic horror novel about a girl who sees spirits and who has a spirit companion that can possess her. The spirit basically protects her from anything that she deems harmful. So yeah, sometimes the spirit is correct and some other times not as much. But yeah, this spirit companion, Ruth, is always with our main character, whose name is Rose, or Ruth. Ruth is 21 when the story starts, and she lives with her mama, who might or might not be her real mother. We never really find out for sure. But this woman, who she calls mama, is very abusive towards her and basically just uses her to make money, because she uses her to put up these seances that are only partially real, because of course Ruth is real in this novel, but all of the other spirits that they claim to see and talk to and that mama claims are possessing Ruth are just pretend. And they do this because they live on the brink of poverty, and this is the easiest way that this woman has found for Ruth to make money. But she is really abusive. She starves Ruth. She closes her in this tiny space under some floorboards, and she is extremely toxic and abusive towards her. saying horrible things and doing horrible things to her. When this woman, Agnes, comes to a seance and later on offers some money in exchange for taking Ruth with her, her mother says yes. So she basically sells her daughter to an almost perfect stranger. Good thing is that Agnes understands Ruth because she also has a spirit companion. So yeah, that's kind of how the story starts. And we see the relationship between Agnes and Ruth like start to form and develop, and they live in this crumbling mansion, decaying mansion, together with this other woman. I'm not going to go too far into the plot because I went into this completely blind basically, and I really, really enjoyed it. So some terrible things happen, of course. It is a very sad book, but yeah, I loved it. The language was beautiful, and the descriptions, the gothic, like I don't think I've read that many books that truly are gothic in the way that this one is. There are very, very few other novels that I have read that I could consider more gothic than this one. So yeah, definitely read this if you're a fan of Gothic literature, if you enjoyed The Yellow Wallpaper or Wuthering Heights or The Turn of the Screw or Rebecca by Daphne du Maurier, which is also mentioned in here several times, as well as The Turn of the Screw. And there are even some references to The Yellow Wallpaper by Charlotte Perkins Gilman. So yeah, if you enjoyed those, definitely give this a try, because this incorporated all the gothic spooky elements in such a compelling way. It's beautifully written. It is haunting. It is tragic. Just read this, okay? This is excellent. And honestly, after my previous read, this was such a breath of fresh air. I had such a great time reading this. So I'm very happy this is in the Goodreads Choice Awards. This would be a very, very valid book to vote for. I hope it makes the next round. So I think the next book that I'm going to pick up for this vlog is going to be You Like It Darker by Stephen King. This is also a hefty one. It's big and it's really thick as well. I don't know how many pages it is, but a lot. Oh, 484. So this is probably going to take me a while. I hope it doesn't take me too long, because obviously I'm trying to read so many books for this vlog and I have to do it in a certain amount of time, so I am a little bit stressed. But we'll try to make it work, and if I can't get to all of them, it will be okay. It will be fine. I don't need to stress so much about it. I will get to all of those that I want to get to, and then we will see what remains after that. But this one is one of those I really want to get to, so it's fine. Also, another thing is that I reread the synopsis for House of Bone and Rain by, was it Gabino Iglesias? And apparently I was confusing it with his previous book, which was also in the Goodreads Choice Awards last year, if I'm not wrong. So I think that's what I was thinking about, and that's the one that I just didn't really like the sound of. But House of Bone and Rain is actually like some kind of coming of age type horror, which might be nice. So I think I'd rather put that in the possibilities of books to read for this vlog rather than Blood Like Mine by, I don't remember the name of the author, but I went over the synopsis for that one as well, and I really don't like it. I kind of hate the way it sounds. I saw that there were like detectives in that one as well, and it should be about some vampires too. I don't know. I don't remember. I looked at it a few days ago now, but it really did not sound like something I would enjoy. So I'd rather read House of Bone and Rain than Blood Like Mine. So if we get to that and I still have time left, I will rather pick up that. So that's all for now, and I guess I will see you again when I have read this book. Hello vlog. It's currently Monday morning. I did not vlog in the weekend because I didn't really have anything to update you about. I was working in the weekend and I didn't have much time to read, but I did manage just now to finish You Like It Darker by Stephen King. And I actually ended up listening to the audiobook of this while playing Stardew Valley. I just have my moment right now with Stardew Valley. I don't think it's gonna last for much longer, but the new update came out for the Switch a little bit ago and I wanted to try it out. So I started playing again and I played for a lot of hours. Like I listened to the entirety of this book while playing. I have to say, I don't have much really to talk about with this. It was fine. It was okay, but none of the stories really blew me away. I was just like, all right. I don't know. Am I the only one feeling like this? Because I saw that a lot of the other people who read this gave it like 5 stars. And it also has a very high rating on... Oh, it's a heavy book. This also has a very high rating on Goodreads. Plus, all of my friends on Goodreads that have read it gave it 5 stars. And I'm like... I am not sure I understand. I don't know. Like, as I said, it was okay, but nothing sensational. I think I'm gonna give it 3 stars. I didn't hate it, but I didn't love it either. My favorite story, I enjoyed the story called Danny Coughlin's Bad Dream the most, I think. And I also liked Rattlesnakes. And The Dreamers was also pretty cool, but most of them are actually pretty short, except for Danny Coughlin's Bad Dream, which was about this man who has a dream about finding the body of a young woman that had been murdered. And then he goes to see if he can actually find it for some reason. Like, even though it's just a dream, he doesn't believe that he's actually going to find the body in the spot that he saw in the dream. But when he gets there, he actually finds the body of the woman that he dreamt about. And he tries to make an anonymous call to the police about it. But they find out that it was him who called, and they think that he was the one who murdered her. So, yeah, and that's the longest story of the collection too. And it was a bit too long, I think. It was a bit long, a bit repetitive even, because there's this one policeman who is obsessed with the fact that he was the one who murdered her. It was fine. Like, it was an okay story. I was interested while reading it, although, as I said, it was a bit too long for my taste, and a bit too repetitive as well. But it was one of the more memorable ones in this collection, I have to say. And then in Rattlesnakes, there's like this haunted pram, which I found pretty interesting. It was just fine. I really hope this is not the book that wins the Goodreads Choice Awards, but I do have hope that this year something other than Stephen King might win. I know that when Stephen King is in the Choice Awards, he's usually the one that wins, but I think We Used to Live Here has a good chance. Not a very exciting review, I guess, but I really don't have much to say about this book. As I said, it was a 3-star. It was just not particularly memorable. I'm glad I've read it. But I don't think I'm going to be thinking about this for very long. I don't think I'm going to remember most of the details if you ask me again in a week. So, but yeah, another thing that I liked about it was that there were loads of references to other Stephen King books. So that was fun. That's always fun. If you're a Stephen King fan, then I would recommend it. Otherwise, I don't know. I'm going to be moving on to my next read very soon because I've just gotten the audiobook for So Thirsty from the library. So I think that's what I'm going to be reading next. Fortunately, that's not as long as this one because this one was very long. It took me a while to read it. Plus, as I said, I was working in the weekend, so I only had time to read like in the evenings. And yeah, that wasn't very much. But I'm going to be starting So Thirsty by Rachel Harrison next. I'm going to update you when I've read it.